Hello friends, today we are going to learn about banking transaction in the subject Business Studies Unit number 1. Banking transaction. In this lesson you are going to learn about what is bank, meaning of bank, characteristics of banks, banks and post office in financial transactions and types of banks, different accounts that can be opened in a bank, method of opening bank account, what are the advantages of bank accounts. So present days, without bank account it is not possible to transact our financial procedures. So what it is exactly, why the banking system was existed in our country, when it came, and what is the background of it. So bank developed from the hundreds of years ago. So what are the types of banks which we had? The term bank is related to financial transaction. It does the financial transactions. So banks are financial institutions which uses money deposited and by the customers and investments and agree to return whenever they needed. Banks advance loans to the customer and charge interest on them. Banks exchange the money of different countries. The development of any country depends on the efficient banking system of their country. Banks advances money to agriculture, industry, trade and other sections of the society which are main organs for the development of a country and accelerate the growth of the country. What is bank? The term bank is derived from Italian word banco. What is that? Italian word banco or from the French word banco. Both the meaning is the bench or money exchange table. So it will be asked as a 2-mark question. What is a bank? You're supposed to write both banco by Italian word and French word banco, and the meaning of the bank is bench. A banking company may be defined as a company which transacts the business with the finance. So what the bank will do, it accepts deposits from the public and lends loans to those who need it. It receives money from those who want to save their money in the form of deposits and lends it to those who require the form of loans. The services of banks are called banking. What is banking? A question will be asked. The services rendered by a bank is known as banking. Next, a bank repays the deposits in the form of checks, drafts or in some other forms too. Now let us know about the characteristics of banks. This will be asked as a 4-mark question or 3-mark question. The characteristics, if you learn the entire lesson, you'll be able to understand it easy. So it will deal the money. It's dealing with money, accepts the deposits, lending loans, payment and withdrawal, agency and utility services, profit and service or orientation, ever increasing functions, connecting links, banking business, name identity, individual or firm or company. Bank can be used as an individual or firm or company. So what are the characteristics of a bank? What are the characteristics? Very first one that we already observed the points. The first one is dealing with money. Yes, bank is dealing with money like lending loans or receiving the checks or giving the drafts, etc. Second one, individual, firm, company. Yes, bank may be an individual or a firm or company. It can be a type of individual carried out bank or both together or a many number of people can be handled as a company. The next characteristics of a bank is it accepts the deposits. Banks accept deposits from the public. These deposits are required whenever the customer demands or after a prescribed period. When the bank accountant or the customer require, it will lend the money as a loan or some other procedures. It will lend the loan. Lending loans is the next character. Banks advances loans to industrial sector, agricultural sector, education, house construction and for many other purposes. Fifth one is payment and withdrawal. Bank will accept the payments and withdrawal also. And their deposits in the form of checks or drafts. Next characteristic is agency and utility services. Bank provide various banking facilities to its customer. They include general utility services and agency services. Next one is profit and service oriented. A bank is always thinks about the profit. Through the profit only it will start giving the loans, and it is a type of institution having service oriented approach. Ever increasing function, banks continuously expands and diversify their functions, services and activities. Means it will start its sub branches in various other places to render the service in the other places too. Next one is connecting link. Like for example, you'll be having Canara Bank account. You can take your amount through any other bank and through that it will be just working as a link. And the bank acts as a connecting link between the depositors and borrowers. Banks collect surplus money of the customer and lend the same to those who are in need. And the last one is banking business. The main activity of the bank is banking business, that is accepting deposits from the customer and lending the same as with the form of loans. It is not a subsidiary to any other business. Next one is name identity. So any bank, any of the name of the bank ends with BANK, bank holdings. That is known as name identity. So this will be asked as a 4-mark question and the 3-mark question. Now let us know about the functions of bank. If you know about the characteristics of a bank, the same points will again repeat, that is known as the functions of the bank. First one is accepting deposit from the public and others. Second one is lending money to the public and other institutions. Third one, transferring money in the form of drafts and check, etc. from one place to another. Collecting money or checks, drafts and bills. Next one is discounting of bills, hiring safe deposits, lockers, conducting foreign exchange transactions, keeping valuables in safe custody, issuing letters of credit and guarantee, conducting government transactions. All these are known as functions of a bank. Now let us move on to the relationship between bankers and the customers. What is the relation between the banks and the customers? The relation between the bank and customers fall under two broad categories. First one is general relationship. Another one is in general relationship, primary relationship. Second one is subsidiary relationship. Third one is the agent and principal relationship. Second one is a special relationship. First one is general relationship. Second one is special relationship. In that special relationship, obligation to honor checks. It will accept the checks and it will be having one more obligation to maintain secrecy of an account. It won't reveal the account of anybody to anyone. So what are the services offered by the banks? Again, the same thing you are going to learn: debit cards and credit cards. It will give the debit and credit cards, and it also gives the personal loans, and third one is home and vehicle loans, and it also provides many other services like mutual funds, safe deposit lockers for your jewelry or any other particulars to be kept in that. Trust services, it won't reveal your account to anybody. And some other documents, you can keep it in the safe deposits. And the next one is signature guarantees. And finally, present generation is running behind the e-banking system. No one is carrying the hard cash and they are doing the transaction with the e-banking system. Wherever you are going, the transaction will be carried through the e-transaction. Presently, you can see the Google Pay and internet banking. All these comes under the e-banking system. Services provided by the banks. So without that, we cannot lead our life in present generation or present situation. So banking transaction. What are the banking transactions are there? Any sort of activity involving money exchange of money in an account viewed as bank transaction. This will be asked as a 1-mark question. What is bank transactions? Any sort of activity involving in money and or exchange of money is an account is known as banking transaction. Banks keeps money of the customer in the form of deposits, and that money will be collected from various people and lent as a loan to the needy people. And banks lend money and collect interest on loans. It also collect the interest on loans. Apart from the interest collected on loan, it gives that deposit as an interest. Those who will keep money as their deposits, for them it will give the interest. This interest forms the income to the depositor. Banks invest the customer's money in national and international business too and increases their funds. Now, Bankers Bank. Now you will be having 1-mark question or fill in the blank or MCQ. Reserve Bank. So it is known as Bankers Bank, Mothers Bank, Central Bank. The three names of the Reserve Bank are Bankers Bank, Reserve Bank and the Central Bank. It is known as RBI, the Reserve Bank of India. It controls all the other banks in our country. This is known as Mothers Bank, Bankers Bank and Central Bank of India. The other three names you have to remember: Bankers Bank, Mother Bank and Central Bank of India. RBI formulates the monetary policy which should be followed by all the banks. Every bank has to follow the rules and regulations imposed by the Reserve Bank. Today we have State Bank group of 20 nationalized banks. There are different types of banks in our country. First one is international, national and private. So we are having nationalized banks 20, private banks 21 and foreign banks are 19. You can easily remember 90, 20, 21 continuous numbers. 19 is foreign bank, 20 is nationalized bank, 21 is private bank. The network of banks consists of 8,000 bank branches. There are rural banks, regional banks of government, and we are also having the private banks. Now let us know about the service rendered by banks, of course. In the same manner, even post offices also renders its services. So this will come under the 2-mark question. What are the services rendered by the post office? Let us know about the post office and its functions. So the post office is what it will do. It will collect. See, the Indian Postal Department is planning to start bank to be the tentatively called as Postal Bank of India. It is known as Postal Bank of India. With a new network of 1.55 lakh post offices spread all over India. Remember the number, 1.55 post offices are established in entire India. 90% of them are in the rural area and they are following this post office system. What are the services rendered by the post office? First one is National Saving Certificate. First one is National Saving Certificate. Second one is Postal Saving Accounts. And you can keep the money and you can get the money within the time. Like RD, you can introduce in the post office and get the money in time. And third one is Kisan Vikas Patra. It will be a type of document. How many patras, how many you wanted, you can purchase and you can keep it, use it as whenever it is needed. The other services are monthly recurring deposits like RD, and the second one is personal insurance. You can go through the post office, and then pensions. You might have seen your grandfathers or some aged person in your family might have taken the pensions through the post office, and money transfer too. That is money order we might have seen. So that money order transaction will be carried through the postal department. Now let us know about the types of bank. What are the types of banks? You have observed the banking system. There are different types of bank in specialized. What are they? In different types of activities it will do. The important types of banks are, first one is Central Bank of Reserve Bank of India. First one is the mother's bank, that is mother's mother, or the banker's mother, that is Reserve Bank of India. That comes under first bank, that is Reserve Bank of India. Second one is commercial banks. Third one is IDBI or Industrial Development Bank. And the fourth one is Land Development Bank. Fifth one is indigenous bankers. Andre mane hatra chiti hakoru noಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ, indigenous bankers. And the last one is cooperative banks. For example, nearby your residence, you will be observing the Malleshwaram Cooperative Bank, Rajajinagar Cooperative Bank, Subramania Cooperative Bank, likewise. So types of bank account. Please remember that is the types of banks. This is types of bank account. But bank accounts are only 4. Types of banks are 6. So types of bank account. What are they? First one is, it is the SB or the saving bank account. Normally every child who enters into 10th standard, normally we will allow them to open a bank account, because after the 10th standard examination you may get wonderful scorings, you will get some remuneration through as gifts or something. So that will be in the form of money that will be dropped into your account. So for that sake, you're supposed to establish your own saving bank. It is must for everyone. Second one is current account. It is used for business transactions. Third one is recurring deposits. It is for the term of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Based on your interest, the banks will give the opportunity to introduce the recurring deposit. Monthly basis, you are going to pay the money and they will issue a certificate. You can keep it, and after the time period, you can get the money back with the interest rate. And that comes under the recurring deposit. And the last one is term or fixed deposit. You might have observed your grandparents or father or parent, any of your family members you might have given as a gift or the fixed deposit certificate as a gift for your birthday or something. So in the period of 5 years, 10 years or something like that, you can get the term of a fixed deposit account. Through that, you can carry the money. Saving bank account. This facility is also given to the students, senior citizens, pensioners. Everyone can go through the saving bank account. It will be encouraged by everyone to save their money, and there is no restriction of number of account you can open in different banks. Current account, it is used by the business people. Business people can utilize the money by depositing and withdrawing. It can be withdrawn many times at one day only. So this will be asked as one more question. Number of times of depositing and number of time of withdrawal is possible only in one bank, that is the current account only. Generally, banks do not give any interest on this. In this account, you are not going to get any interest. Only transaction can be followed by the business people, not the normal person. Recurring deposit, just now I explained, it is for the period of some months or years that can be carried, and you can get the money back after your time period got over with the interest. And last one is fixed deposit, that can be carried through the certificate, and the deposit amount cannot be withdrawn before the time period. So the rate of interest is more depending upon the term in the deposit account. Procedure to open a bank account. This is also 3-mark question. How you are going to open a bank account. It is practically you might have seen when you attended the bank opening, account opening in a bank. So there are 7 steps. How many steps? There are 7 steps to open a bank account. First one is decide the type of account which you want to open. Which type of account you are supposed to open? Just now I told 4 types are there. That is SB account and the recurring deposit and the term deposit, or the current account. Any account which you are comfortable, that you have to choose first. Second one, approach the bank of your choice and meet its officer, the bank manager or any other officer you must meet, and to know about the details. Fill up the bank account from a proposal form. They'll be giving the form. In that form, you're supposed to fill it. And the fourth one is give reference for opening your bank account. Reference, one has to introduce you. That's why the reference is must. Next, to submit the bank account form duly filled. Everything you have to fill. There is name, date, address, and the date of birth, phone number, and other Aadhaar card number, and other linking